What if you could build a profitable web app just by talking to an AI? I know, it sounds like something straight out of sci-fi. But we're about to break down exactly how a complete software-as-a-service business was created from nothing more than a simple text prompt. We're going to see how an idea becomes a real product without a single line of code being written by a human.
So here's the journey we're going on today. We'll start with that initial spark of an idea, see how a no-code AI builds it, go through the inevitable debugging phase, and end up with a finished app. Let's dive in. The best businesses, they're always born from some kind of frustration. And our story starts with a problem that, well, anyone who's ever tried to start a small business will know all too well.
Seriously, think about it for a second. You've got a great idea for a new shop or a cafe. Now what? How do you actually find a space to rent? The whole process is usually a complete nightmare. You end up just aimlessly wandering through markets, right? Hoping to spot a for rent sign. Or you have to rely on these expensive brokers who take a huge cut. And then there's that super awkward dance of trying to find out the price without looking like you can't afford it. It's just a massive waste of time and energy. And that friction right there, that's exactly where a business opportunity is hiding. So the solution isn't just a simple listing site, it's an actual business. See, owners can list their properties for free, but their contact info is hidden behind a simple paywall. If you're a user, you subscribe to a plan, starter or pro, to unlock a certain number of contacts. It's a really direct and clear path to making money.
Okay, so you've got a great idea, but how do you turn that idea into a real product if you're not a developer? Well, this is where the game has completely changed.
This quote really gets to the heart of any great startup. I mean, think about companies like Zomato or Book My Show. They didn't invent new things for people to do. They just took a massive headache out of an existing process. And that's exactly the principle here. Find the friction and then build the solution.
And the tool that makes this all possible is Horizon AI. Now, don't think of it as just a website builder. It's more like your own personal AI developer. You just describe what you want in plain English, and it handles the rest. The design, the coding, and even launching the thing online for you.
Okay, let's get into the good stuff and see how this actually works. We're going to go from the idea to a live application, all starting from one single prompt.
It all began with this. Not a single line of code, but a detailed paragraph just describing the entire application. It explained who the different users were, shop owners, renters, and an admin, and the core business logic, like that whole subscription model for revealing contact info.
And this is where it gets really impressive. The AI didn't just blindly start building. It actually acted like a real developer and came back with smart, clarifying questions. Things like, hey, should we hook up the payment system now or just focus on the look and feel first? And does the admin need their own separate login page? This is a true collaboration.
And the user's reply was just as simple and conversational. Yeah, let's do the UI first. Yes, I want a separate page. And please use real cities. This back and forth shows it's a partnership, not just you barking commands at a machine.
But of course, no application is ever perfect on the first try, so what happens when you hit a bug? This next part is absolutely key, because the solution isn't to open up a code editor, it's just to keep talking to the AI.
So the first bug shows up. The admin login page is just a blank white screen. A classic developer headache, right? But the fix is unbelievably simple. The user just describes the problem in one sentence, and a moment later, the AI comes back and says, "Perfect, the admin login page has been fixed." That's it. That's the entire debugging loop.
Okay, but what about more complicated issues? Well, the Approve Listing button wasn't working. So instead of trying to describe the complicated error message, the user just took a screenshot of the error, uploaded it, and said, "I got an error." The AI literally looked at the image, understood the context, and fixed the underlying code. It's just wild. Now, payment systems are always tricky to build, and this table shows the reality of it. The first attempt failed, so the user sends a screenshot. The AI's fix then creates a new error, so another screenshot is sent. But on the third try, success. The key takeaway here is the AI's persistence. It just keeps working the problem right alongside you.
So after all that back and forth, the building, the chatting, the debugging, what do we actually have at the end of it all? Well, we have a complete working web application that's ready to find its very first customers.
Okay, let's just pause for a second and appreciate what was just created, basically from a conversation. We have a public site for browsing shops, a portal for owners to upload listings, a secure admin panel, and, crucially, a working paywall and subscription system. I mean, this isn't a demo page, it's a real, viable business.
So how much did all of this cost in terms of AI power? Building this entire complex application, including all the back and forth and all the debugging, took just 3 credits. 3! That level of efficiency is frankly a complete game changer.
So the most important point here is what this technology unlocks for literally everyone. The barrier that used to exist between having an idea and creating a product has never, ever been lower.
This whole process proves you no longer need to be a coder to be a creator. That barrier, it's gone. The only limit now is your ability to spot a problem that needs solving. So the real question isn't if you can build your idea anymore, it's what problem will you solve?